Good morning and welcome to Two Tarts on a Journey. My goodness. Hello, hello, hello to beautiful you, Liz. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, good. Down here in sunny Tasmania. So a bit of a roller coaster for everyone, but doing well. And it's good to be actually just here reconnecting with you and just being able to speak authentically and just honestly about really what's going on and what we're doing.
Excellent. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I did want to touch on what is going on in the world. There are some huge things going on energetically and in the physical world with these incredible fires in LA. Um, and I'm not going to attribute anything to it. There's a lot of people already doing that. I think um, it's also what I wanted to kind of touch on as well is the situation with these huge pedophile rings in Britain that are being exposed. And, I think it really comes down to um, how much we are reliant and hold responsibility for have an expectation. And that's what our system does. It dumps all of the responsibility for everything that's big and happening on our governing bodies. And it's, really we're being shown that those governing bodies are usually, quite often self-serving, but also we've been um, manipulated and coerced as people to giving all of our power, all of our responsibility for our own lives to these governing bodies who really have not got our best interests at heart. So, it's this is marking the end of a huge era. Um,
Yeah.
we're coming up on the 19th to um, the age of Aquarius, our drop into the age of light. So I think that it's really well worth acknowledging, yes, these governing bodies have done a very, very poor job. Um, they too are,
Of protecting the people.
very poor, very,
Yeah.
very poor. Um, so, and I see that Justin Trudeau has just resigned in Canada. So, that's neither here nor there to me, but it's a really good sign that there's a
It's
lot
the
of,
start to the step downs.
yes, a lot of
Yeah.
things starting to be put in place, and I think will be put in place over the next year, but it's still going to be a rocky ride. But, I just wanted people to know that wonderful, there are wonderful resources that we do have for those who find it's really difficult. And I can certainly understand trying to cope with how they're feeling when they are, if they watch the news, and news is all around us, media is all around us. So and it's heartbreaking when you watch a lot of this stuff, especially on social media, television. Um, so there are a lot of resources to help people to get through that and to understand it and look at it in a different way. So one of the great things that I love is what you're doing and what you're offering people, um, Liz. So let's throw over to you and talk about the wonderful, the wonderful service that you are offering to people.
Thank you. And I think I and many people are now really hearing the call to step out and assist what's going on, and you touched on what's going on in the world, and I think it's very, very important for those of us like yourself that have been on this journey, have this awareness, and that have been going through it ourselves and still feeling it, that we all come together now and, as you said, assist those that perhaps have an awareness or just are beginning to feel extremely uncomfortable in something that they know that's happening. So my first big event this year is a collaboration with Mel at Milk Raven Yoga. We are being called actually to the beautiful area of Muna, and I'm sorry if I haven't said that right, down in the Tarkin Wilderness Lodge at the bottom of Tasmania, for a uh, 3-day retreat from Friday the 21st of February to Monday the 24th of February, which is going to be very supportive with drumming, fire cacao circles, meditation, morning yoga, sunrise and sunset, lots of supportive circles for both men and women, light language, but we are very called to the connection of the earth down there at this time. It's very indigenous. There's a lot of things coming out of the Tarkin wilderness. So for some, we are being called down there to do some work. So that's the first project off and running this year. The rest of it for me is working fortnightly now out of Launceston House of Prana with some counselling for those people that want to do counselling in a different way. So it's not the counselling of just sitting here talking like the old days. If you're ready to delve into that innerness and look at perhaps that our reality is being created by our own internal reality and what's going on with us, to be able to help us navigate what's going on with a little bit more understanding. Also with sound healing and light healing with that, and one-on-one sessions and group sessions, and continuing to run my monthly retreats, which I'll start down here in Hobart as well as Launceston, which is also aerial sound baths with a check-in circle, breath work, and some yin yoga, just to start to release some of this motion that we're holding and really just come together in community unity to know that we're not alone, that there is stuff happening in a non-judgmental and very safe environment. The other thing that I'm receiving to do this year is to write a workshop, which I will get onto it, which is really purely about bringing ourselves into ourselves and looking at the way society has programmed us into the belief system of victimhood, and just being able to move through that and find some forgiveness for self, which is going to permeate out into our own reality. So really coming into, I guess, more of the hardcore issues now on my own journey, and being able to help people to get to that and find peace and have a greater understanding that we create a lot of what's going on. And I don't mean to underestimate the pedophilia and abuse and all that, but we can, with awareness, bring it in and be able to change that, and through our own choices and our own free will. So really starting to delve into that. And also received that I will have that book coming this year, whatever that's on. So there's a lot. I've actually hit the ground running. I think we spoke on that last month on our last podcast, where I said I've really received to stop playing small. And I think that's simply because we are in for a tumultuous year of change and structure breakdown, and I think we are being really called to support. So from my point of view, I'm collaborating, as I do with you on a podcast, and other people out there that offer lots of things that we can really holistically come together and really provide something that's going to help the whole body.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope I described all of that with some understanding, but there's so much going on here. But and I think, as we spoke, much of this, especially being drawn to the wilderness of, Muna and the Tarkin region is getting our feet back on the ground once again and really truly connecting and being able to transmute what is going on within us with some awareness. Mm.
Yeah, and I think that's gosh, that's so exciting what you have planned, and we will keep people informed about that. So and the upcoming events that you have, and noticing that numerology, in numerology, sorry, in
Numerologically.
numerology, we're in a 9 year, and nine's
Yep.
all about letting go. So,
Yep.
and the great thing about the number nine is that there is often a big resistance and reluctance to let go. So, often we find when we finally do, shake things out and let things go, then, and sometimes they're things that have been nagging us and worrying us, and we've been thinking about for years. And when we finally let it go, then things change very quickly. So the more and more I think that people can understand that what they're giving meaning to is different from what is. So once we kind of learn that, okay, there seems to be such a finality to letting go, to letting go, as if there's nothing coming. And, we let go in order to open doors for the new. So, and there is a new world being created, and we're helping create the foundation of that new year, that new world. So,
From our
um,
higher state of consciousness. And
yes,
it's really
yeah,
interesting that not knowing what was to come in some ways last year, with you being forced to slow down and
yeah,
me going through these final transitions of
mm,
um, addictive habits and belief systems that we touched on, that was all in preparation for me to step ahead, not to be better than anyone, which I said, but just to be one step ahead, to go, wow, now I know I had to do that. I can help you get to where I am while I'm continuing to do the journey on mine.
yeah,
So you can see why so much of those things had to end in those last few months, because we're really being called forward to
yes,
have an understanding. We all have different experiences and we all are at different stages of the journey, but we have an awareness and an understanding of what we're being called to do and moving through it ourselves.
yeah,
So I find that really exciting, with even what's come to me in such a short time of what I'm doing and not being small and standing out and going, okay, I don't necessarily know what this looks like, but
mm,
I've done it. I'm moving through it. I'm up to the challenge. Let's go
yeah,
ahead and do it. Because with that trust and just really, as you said, surrender, just letting go of that fear of that false evidence appearing real and just going, okay, if this is false, what's real? Can I create something different? And
yeah.
that's what we really want to bring out, to let people know that it is possible and we do have that choice.
Yes, yes, and I think just learning too that the reality is deep within us, and that's where the roots of of our reality is. So, um, yeah, it's very exciting to know that we're at the beginning of a fascinating new era. Um, and I think you were talking about your journey before. I think people, especially when they are kind of bouncing in this and being thrown in this chaos, realizing, oh my God, there's something that I need to change and let go of. They're starting to realize that it is a journey. It's not a finite ending, It's
Yeah.
a wow, it's a journey. And when one journey, one journey finishes, another one begins. So, oh,
But we need to know that it doesn't. And I think that was one of my own things. When you're caught in it, you think, oh, will this end? Will this end? But it does end if we can change that mindset that we don't
yeah,
have to stay in it. So when you get that greater awareness and you start moving through it, you can go, okay, is this mine or isn't it mine? Click
yeah,
it through. you have that awareness. We're getting to know ourselves better. And I never really knew what that meant, but you
Mm.
really do connect on a deeper level. Now, if I've got this far, what is it that I can create now that I would really like to see? Not to stop there and become comfortable, but it's like that whole growth of, oh, what would it look like if I went and did that? What would it
Yeah.
look like if I went and did that? And still moving through the little challenges of what we're here to experience, but doing it with a different awareness where we don't have to stay stuck in it. And that's the excitement, and that's where I'm at. If I can do this, well, wow, what's it going to look like if I get there? What have I got to
Yeah.
lose?
Yeah. Yeah. What have I
Really
got to
just,
lose and what have
and
I got to
enjoying
gain?
it,
Mm.
finding the joy in going, wow, that might be fun if I can do that. What's it going to look like to get there? Just bringing that joy back into it as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, well, I had some great inspirational, interesting thing to say, and it's gone. Um, no, it's absolutely gone. So,
Sorry.
yeah, and I think too that this is when I hear us like talking today, it's really what we've been talking about for the last 14, 15 episodes is really, now I kind of think back, that's been all the foundation for this and for this new leap into let's get and do it. Let's stop thinking. Let's stop procrastinating, and let's get started and take some action. And that's what we're both doing, which is really great.
With a
Oh,
greater sense of awareness. And that's,
yeah.
that doesn't happen like that. It is a work in action, but, you know, I've needed to get where I am so I can actually understand me better into
Yes.
what they're saying. The answers are inside. We're connected, we are. And you start feeling that and you go, well, if that's true, I
Yeah.
already know all this. I am everything. And you get to understand that on a deeper understanding, and that then starts to make the changes because you
Yes.
have that more of an understanding. But I have so much more to learn on that as well. But the excitement is that I'm starting to light up. It's starting to understand, and each step, it's like, I get this. I get this. This really is inside me. This isn't me. It's there. Let's remember who that is. And that's the excitement, remembering who we truly are. And we're light. We're just
Yeah.
light.
And it's exciting. As you were saying, it's every day, no matter what's going on, no matter what's going on in our lives, no matter what's going on anywhere in our awareness, there's like an underlying excitement and anticipation bubbling away. And that can be bizarre. Just even experiencing that. But this is what doing the work brings us to, which is really great. And it never stops. We never stop learning and growing and
No.
that exploration um, of the new never stops. Anyway, my lovely, look, I need to go. I'm hopping on a plane shortly. So
You are.
lovely talking to you. And let's get together again really soon because there's a lot of exciting stuff happening. And I'm really, now I get to the point where it's, oh my gosh, I wonder what's going to happen between now and when I next talk to Liz. I wonder what she's going to come up with. I wonder what direction she'll be pivoting into. And well, the same with me. So
Yeah.
it's I can feel the excitement kind of just simmering away there. Okay,
Have an amazing trip.
will
And
do.
yeah, take care, everyone out there, and just stay safe.
Yes. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.